Well, hi everyone, Sean Humphreys here. Welcome to All Things Retirement. In this installment, we are going to talk about longevity, or more specifically, longevity risk, and some tips for working longevity risk planning into your overall retirement plan and wealth plan. So I think you'll find this video helpful. Now, if you're new to our channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're posting content all the time on various aspects of retirement income planning and overall wealth planning. So longevity, our whole approach to longevity has changed dramatically over the last number of years. There's a few stats for you. In 1921, from 1921 to 2011, the average Canadian's life expectancy increased from 57.1 years to 81.7, a gain of almost 25 years, almost a third of a lifetime. So that's extraordinary. According to Stats Canada, if you're 50 years of age today, you'll likely see the year 2053, which again is kind of extraordinary. And there's many people who are living well into their 90s. In fact, if you are in a couple situation, you're both relatively healthy, there's a very high probability that one of you will be living well into their 90s. So longevity is an important topic because it really frames some of the assumptions we make in our retirement income planning. So what are some of the key areas where there's a ripple effect? Well, one of the ripple effects is with our financial assets. So often people default to the assumption that when they phase into retirement, they're going to be really cautious with their portfolio. Guaranteed investment certificates, money market accounts, term deposits, GICs. The problem with that is if you're going to live into your late 80s or 90s and you're retiring in your early 60s, that's a long time. And one of the biggest risks you're facing over that time period is a loss of purchasing power. So inflation and tax erosion can be very significant over that time period. One of the ways you cope with inflation is having growth assets. Maybe not on all your portfolio, but work with your financial advisor to find that sweet spot around assets you need to have in growth so you can cope with inflationary pressures longer term. Because even when you retire, you still have a long-term time horizon. I can't believe how many people I've talked to that said, well, I don't have a long-term time horizon anymore, and they're in their 60s. They could be living for another 25 years plus. You have a long time horizon in that situation. Another area relates to Canada Pension Plan. The default for many people is to take Canada Pension Plan early. I find often in my practice, age 62 seems to be the sweet spot for that. I think one of the reasons that people do that is they've spent 40 years putting money into the plan, making contributions. The survivor benefits on CPP are meager. Again, they're pessimistic about the situation if they die prematurely. That's what they're worried about, when in reality, they should be worrying about longevity risk. But it is a worry, and so they end up taking the money out. It's sort of the take the money and run kind of philosophy when it comes to government pensions. But if you're concerned about longevity risk, many actuaries would say that you should focus on deferring Canada Pension Plan, even past age 65. So for every year you defer past age 65, your Canada Pension Plan benefits go up by 7.2% per year. And that could be a great way of locking in a guaranteed income that's cost of living adjusted as part of your overall retirement income planning. And then finally, a lot of retirees are rethinking the whole idea of retirement being a toggle switch. You're working one day and then you're retired. What I find is that most successful retirements are a bit of a transition, where you slowly phase into retirement. One of the benefits of that, if you're working, is it allows you to protect your portfolio, not put a lot of pressure on it in the early years. And that can act as a bit of a buffer for long-term care expenses, healthcare costs, or simply just longevity that may come your way as you look at your retirement planning. And the final thing that you need to do is get a retirement plan. Sit down with a retirement professional, model your scenario planning, take into account longevity risk. It wasn't that many years ago that many retirement planners may have used mid-80s for their life expectancy. Then that got bumped up to 90s, and now it's pretty common to use age 95. So if you don't have a plan, make sure you take the necessary steps to get a plan. There's a link in the show notes for this video for you to get to our website, our homepage, where you can find out how you can get a complimentary retirement income planning snapshot. So if you want to take a look at your existing plan to see if you're on track, or you'd like to get a plan for the first time, make sure you reach out to us by going to the link, getting to the website, finding more information about that service, and then reaching out to us. Again, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do that so you don't miss future content. If you like the video, click like. wishing you all the best in your retirement income planning and overall wealth planning. You take care. Bye-bye.